ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। प्रमदमदनलीला कंदरे कंदरते रचयति नवयुनो द्वन्द्वमस्मि नामना इति कीलकलनाथ लग्नकस्य द्यौर्मे निज निकट निवासं देहि गोवर्धनतम् निज निकट निवासं देहि गोवर्धनतम् राधा चिंतनिवेशिनं यस्य कांति विलोकिता श्री कृष्ण चरणं वंदे राधा लिखितं विग्रहम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। एवरीवन टुगेदर। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। One more time loudly. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you so much. First of all, I pay my humble obeisances to my Guru Pad Padma, Nitla Vishnu Vishnupad Stottra Shad, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and similarly to my Shiksha Gurudevs, Nitla Vishnu Vishnupad Stottra Shad, Bhakti Vedanshila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nitla Vishnu Vishnupad Bhakti Vigyanshila Bharti Goswami Maharaj. My innerable Dharma pranams to the divine lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and all his prominent acharyas, his disciples, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Raita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. To Abhin, non-different Guru Pad Padma, Nitla Vishnu Vishnupad Bhakti Vedanta Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, and Nitla Vishnu Bhakti Vedanta Srila Trikram Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Govind Goswami Maharaj. I pay my humble obeisance to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his associates, to Shri Radha Madhav, Radha Vinod Bihari and all their associates, to all assembled senior devotees, all senior disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev's disciples, headed by our sannyasis, 320 Padgans. Hare Krishna.
Srila Bhakti Shamrani disciples are also here, Maharaj.
Yes. All glories to Srimati Shamrani Didi and her disciples. So, very auspicious day in remembrance of Srila Gurudev performing Shri Giriraj Puja. And the topic is so relevant, the legacy of Gurudev. And Shri Giriraj Govardhan, the puja of Shri Giriraj Govardhan is the biggest legacy of Srila Gurudev. This topic is endless topic. We can't complete in 7 days. It needs 7 years to accomplish this. Maybe 7 lifetimes. Because the glories are unparalleled. We can't measure those. Each and every word emanates from the lotus lips of Srila Gurudev. Each and every writing of Srila Gurudev, each and every mood of Srila Gurudev has so much in-depth feelings and emotions involved in that. So, how is possible to complete in 40 minutes? But we are trying our best with all respective speakers. And I will continue this if devotees allow me, because I'm staying back for kids camp from Monday to Thursday. Many kids along with Malini Didi requested me, so I extended my stay, and we're going to have again every evening some Hari Katha.
Jai Ho, Jai Ho.
So from many perspectives, the legacy of Gurudev, New Braj festival is a legacy of Gurudev. And the devotees of New Braj and devotees all around the world who are following Srila Gurudev. It's also legacy of Srila Gurudev. So, whether anyone believe or not, the preachers around the world, they are either hearing the lectures of Gurudev or they are reading the books of Gurudev and taking everything from Srila Gurudev and putting in their own words, and they're getting famous around the world. But the only problem is they're not giving credit to Gurudev. That's the only my objection to them. Because everyone have access. There's no copyright, there's copyleft to all the lectures and all the books of Srila Gurudev. There's copyleft. But the only objection is they don't give credit and don't even utter the name of Srila Gurudev. I come across many devotees around the world while traveling. But here in New Braj, there is no restriction. Everyone know about Srila Gurudev's internal mood, and without any fear, they glorify him. And today's topic is Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Gurudev gave such deep insight the glories of Shri Giriraj Govardhan. So, if we say legacy of Srila Gurudev, that is not different from the legacy of Sri Rupa Goswami. Or in other words, the mood of Srila Gurudev is not different from the mood of Sri Rupa Goswami. Even though in the Parnam Mantra of Rupa Goswami we see Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rup Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankitam. Shri Rupa Goswami, who established the inner heart desire of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and not only established, he propagated that inner heart desire of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And our Srila Gurudev, Parnam Mantra for Srila Gurudev, Shri Rupa Goswami, Manobhishtam Stapitam Yenam Bhutale, Swayam Narayan Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankitam. Shri Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, is the one who propagated everywhere the legacy of Shri Rupa Goswami. And therefore, all our Rupanuga Acharyas, they only targeted for one object, and that is what? Instead of getting the object of prema, the Vishya Vigraha, they focus more on Ashya Vigraha, the shelter of prema. So, Srinottam Thakur, he taught us the aim and object of body of Vishnu is to attain what? Shirupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada. To get the service of Shirupa Manjari, Shirupa Goswami, all acharyas, and the guidance of Shirupa Goswami. Srila Gurudev, holding this legacy of all acharyas who are the followers of Shirupa Goswami, he practiced and then he preached that. He propagated everywhere, spread those doctrines of Shirupa Goswami freely like candies. It was real jewels and pearls. That was muktas, pearls. But we took those as candies. That's my unfortunate condition. Yeah. So, serving the object of Vishya Vigraha under the guidance of Ashya Vigraha. That's the aim and object. And therefore, it is seen not only in the lectures but even in the establishments of Srila Gurudev. How he gave prominence to the Ashya Vigrahas. If we see in Vrindavan Dham, Shri Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math, Along with Mahaprabhu and Shri Radha Vinod Bihari, Shri Gurudev installed whom? Vrinda Devi. Understand? Under the guidance of Vrinda Devi, with her blessings, one day will achieve the loving service of divine couple Shri Radha Vinod Bihari. In Durvasa Gaudiya Math in Mathura, Shri Gurudev established Jamuna Maharani. And in Shri Giridhari Gaudiya Math in Govardhan, Shri Gurudev established Giriraj Govardhan. And then in Delhi temple, Shri Raman Bihari Gaudiya Math, Shri Gurudev established Shri Radha Raman Bihari. A very, very special mood behind establishing. That I will continue maybe tomorrow or other day. That's a very elaborate subject. How the mood of Srila Gurudev was in that deity, Shri Radha Raman Bihari. So, prominence of Ashya Vigraha over Visha Vigraha, philosophical. Along with Vrinda Devi, Jamuna Ji, and Shri Giriraj Govardhan, and specifically Shri Giriraj Govardhan was life and soul of Srila Gurudev. He performed very severe austerities and his bhajan at Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Why? Because that's the mood of Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. That's the mood of all acharyas, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Jeev Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami. So why he chose that Shri Giriraj Govardhan, the topmost place to worship or to perform his bhajan? Because of just one factor which was Gurudev's most important point. What he preached all over the world. What he preached. The glories of Krishna or glories of? Glories of? Radharani. And therefore, what emanates from the lotus lips of Shri Radharani? Hante adrabala haridas varjyo yad Ram Krishna charan sparsh pramoda. Gopis, while in separation from Krishna, with such humble mood, imposing their own mood in different objects, seeing a bamboo stick, saying, oh, we are jealous of this bamboo stick. Because how dare this bamboo stick is taking the asset, our property, and that is the lips of Krishna. Shri Radharani said, if I am given this opportunity, next life I want to become a bamboo stick. But I know very well, I am going to forget my previous life as Radha. But Krishna is Antaryami, he knows everything. He will come to know that bamboo stick which I am holding is none other than Radharani. So that gives pleasure to Krishna. In this way, Shri Radharani, she is imposing her own moods. The gopis imposing own moods in other objects. Nadyastam upadhare mukunda geetam. The rivers, Jamuna and Mansi Ganga. And in clouds. These clouds are Shama Varna, dark complexion, same as Krishna. In the birds, in the peacock, in the parrots. And after describing all inhabitants of Vrindavan, all other species, when they look towards Giriraj Govardhan, oh, Hanta. The first word emanate from their lotus lip is Hanta. Hanta is being said in two situations. One is in sorrow and other is in jubilation. Hanta. Alas, I lost this. Alas, Hanta. So why they are expressing that sorrow mood? Because we are very unfortunate. We can't meet Krishna. Everyone else can meet Krishna. We can't meet Krishna. Even the deer can go towards Krishna. Even the peacocks can come close to Krishna. Yeah? Even the birds can come close to Krishna. Even the cows and calves and even the stones are there close to Krishna. The sakhas are close to Krishna. Yashoda, Maya, Nanda Baba, everyone is close to Krishna. They can come to Krishna. But there is only one that we can't come close to Krishna. So alas, Hanta. They are expressing their moods there. Yeah? Weeping and crying. And then also in jubilation. Why jubilation? Mixed emotions. Why jubilation? Because we know very well Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas Varjya, his Mahat Purusha, he is a pure devotee. And anyone who comes close to pure devotee can get all their desires fulfilled. So therefore, O gopis, let's all go together and take bath in Mansi Ganga and have darshan of Haridev, and we can do Govardhan Parikrama because Sarv Ishwardata, Shri Giriraj Govardhan going to fulfill our desire. And what is our desire? Our desire is only and only to serve Krishna. Not only restricted to just see Krishna, but to serve Krishna. That's only our desire. Therefore, Hanta, sorrow and jubilation. Let us do this. Haridas Varje. Shri Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas Varje. There are many Haridas. Shri Dhruv, Prahlad, Ambrish. Gurudev expressed everything, all these words in Venugit. Shri Ambrish Maharaj, everyone is Haridas. But there are three prominent Haridas. One is Yudhishthir Maharaj. That was Gurudev's favorite topic from Brihad Bhagavatamritam. Yudhishthir Maharaj is Haridas. And Uddhav is also Haridas. But they are Dwarka Parikar. Their mood are more mixed with opulence. Yudhishthir Maharaj is not less. Yudhishthir Maharaj is very prominent. And he served Krishna in so many ways. Rajan Pati Guru Alam Deva Priyanam Rajan Pati Guru Alam Kvacha Kinkarova Ashtam Eva Ananga Bhagwan Bhajate Mukundam Mukti Dadatit Kahachit Samana Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavatam. Shri Krishna was like their friend, also serving them, riding the chariot and protecting them in so many ways. Krishna's relationship with the Pandavas and especially Yudhishthir Maharaj. But superior to Yudhishthir Maharaj is Uddhav. Because Vrishninam Parva Mantri Krishnasya Daita Sakha. Braspati Shishya Sakshat Uddhav Buddhi Sattama. Because Uddhav is Vrishninam Parva Mantri, the best amongst all the ministers. Vrishninam Parva Mantri Krishnasya Daita Sakha. Intimate friend of Krishna. And that's where Krishna sent Uddhav to, as described by Srila Gurudev. He went to the University of Prema, in which principal is Radharani and the professors are Lalita and Vishaka. Srila Gurudev used to describe this. Braspati Shishya Sakshat. His disciple of Braspati, and Uddhav is very intellectual, very, very intellectual. And not only that, Krishna took the hand of Uddhav in his hands and he said, Na yatha me priyatma, atma yodi na shankara, na sankarshno na cha shriya, nevatma cha yatha bhavan. Hey Uddhav, my son Brahma is not dear to me. Sankarshan is not dear to me. My consort Lakshmi is not dear to me. My own self is not dear to me as you are dear to me. Oh Uddhav. But again, while considering who is the best Haridas, so much analysis is there. It's not just simple. Yudhishthir is great, Uddhavji is great, but they are Dwarka Parikar. That means their moods are mixed with opulence. But here you see Giriraj Govardhan, Haridas Varje, is the best amongst all Haridas. Why it is so? The one common thing in Venugita is, as described by Gurudev, they are imposing their own moods in others. And seeing that in Braj there are four prominent rasas, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhur ras. But only in Madhur ras, Sarvanga Seva, the gopis, they serve Krishna with all their limbs, with their entire body. And this is what Radharani is saying in Giriraj Govardhan. That even though there are many Haridas, Dhruv, Prahlad, Ambrish, Yudhishthir, Uddhav, but Yat Ram Krishna Charan Sparsh Pramoda. But Giriraj, being Haridas Varja, the best amongst all the servants, in jubilation, in happiness, holding all the pastimes of Krishna on his body. He is serving Krishna with his body. And who's serving Krishna with the body? Only Braj Gopis. Dasya Ras can't, Sakhe Ras no, Vatsalya Ras no, only Braj Gopis. And Giriraj Govardhan similarly also. How Giriraj Govardhan is serving the pastimes of Radha and Krishna? As Gurudev just said, Pramada Madana Leela Kandare Kandarete. By manifesting so many caves where amorous pastimes of Radha Krishna, the Kunja Leela, the Nikunja Leela and the Nibrit Nikunja Leela can take place. They are not same. There's so much difference. Kunja Leela, Nikunja Leela and Nibrit Nikunja Leela. So Giriraj Govardhan is providing those caves where the Nibrit Nikunja Leela can take place. Giriraj Govardhan is supplying a platform where the Ras Leela can take place. In that Ras Leela Giriraj Govardhan, where only Radharani's Swapaksha Gopis, the favorable ones to Radharani, only they are present there. Vipakshas are not there, unfavorables are not there. And therefore, not only that, Giriraj Govardhan is providing green grass, fruits, shade, and many other ingredients to nourish the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So Sarvanga Seva, with all his limbs, all pastimes are happening on the body of Shri Giriraj Govardhan, and therefore Haridas Varje. But while addressing Yad Ram Krishna Charan Sparash Pramoda, Giriraj Govardhan get jubilation. But not only, why Giriraj Govardhan getting jubilation? To have the touch of the lotus feet of Ram and Krishna. Who is Ram and Krishna? Krishna is Krishna and Ram is Balaram. Gopis say no, they are not saying Balaram. Their Ram means Krishna. One who gives happiness, Ram, Raman. Who give happiness to Radharani, who give pleasure to Radharani. So Gopis are not looking towards Balaram, they are only focused towards Krishna. And that's why Giriraj Govardhan is in jubilation. Pramoda. But not only Giriraj Govardhan as servant of Krishna is in jubilation, even Krishna is in jubilation. Because Krishna is getting a platform to have his pastimes there. So both, servant and the master. And that's why Gopi is saying, Haridas Varje is the best amongst all the Haridas. How is Haridas? Because the Vishal Vigraha of Giriraj Govardhan is Haridev. And Das is Giriraj Govardhan. Haridev is the predominant deity of Govardhan. And Giriraj Govardhan is servant of Haridas, Haridev. And therefore Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas Varje. How Giriraj Govardhan manifested in different kalpas, in different pastimes. Sometimes from the compassionate tears from the eyes of Krishna. But in Bhavishya Puran it said, Giriraj Govardhan manifests from the heart of Radharani. Because only the pastimes of Radha and Krishna takes place in Giriraj Govardhan, not in any male form. And therefore, legacy of Gurudev, the speciality of Gurudev describing is, Giriraj Govardhan have different manifestation in Chaitanya Leela, and Giriraj Govardhan have different manifestation in Krishna Leela. And that was one of my questions to Srila Gurudev in his Bhajan Kutir in Govardhan. I was in his room. Randomly I just asked this question to him. I still remember this. That Srila Gurudev, how we can reconcile this? Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave Giriraj Shila to Sri Raghunath Das Goswami and told Raghunath offered Tulsi Manjaris to Giriraj Govardhan, and Giriraj Govardhan is Krishna. But on the other hand, we see Radharani saying, Haridas Varje, he is the best amongst all the Haridas. So we have to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or we have to follow Radharani. For us it's quite confusing. And you see how Gurudev so expert, is the expert diver in that ocean to take all the pearls and jewels. He said, Giriraj Govardhan in Chaitanya Leela is different from Giriraj Govardhan in Krishna Leela. Because in Chaitanya Leela, Mahaprabhu has the mood of Radharani, but Mahaprabhu is not Radharani. Try to understand this. Mahaprabhu has the mood of Radharani, but Mahaprabhu is not Radharani. So with that mood of Radharani, wherever Mahaprabhu is saying, is only saying Krishna, 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 Krishna. Therefore, he sees Giriraj Govardhan also as Krishna. Whereas Radharani, very fine line there. Whereas Radharani is not seeing Giriraj Govardhan as Krishna. Radharani is seeing Giriraj Govardhan as Haridas Varji, the best servant of Krishna. Why? Because of her mood. And the mood is, she is the, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to say, the best servant of Krishna. Radharani. And seeing that Giriraj Govardhan is supplying all these caves and fruits and grass and water and waterfalls to serve Krishna. So Radharani is seeing Giriraj Govardhan through her eyes as that how we are always engaged in pleasing Krishna. Giriraj Govardhan is also engaged in pleasing Krishna. Therefore, Giriraj is Haridas Varji. There's a fine line difference between Gaura Leela and Krishna Leela. The words emanated from the lotus lips of Shri Radharani. Giri Nirpa Haridas Sheni Varyati Nama Age Midam Idam Uditam Shri Radhika Bhakta Chandra. From the moon face, from the lotus lips of Shri Radharani, she is saying Giriraj Govardhan is Haridas Varje. So Gurudev said, in this regard, this is the difference. Mahaprabhu is imbibed with the mood of Radharani, but Mahaprabhu is not Radharani, Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Whereas Radharani is Radharani. So what emanates from the lotus lips of Radharani, we will follow that. So I see Giriraj Govardhan as Haridas Varje, not as Krishna. Such fine point. Such in-depth understanding of Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Who can describe this? Who can describe this? By following, that's why I said in the beginning, Shri Rupa Goswami Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. That's the mood of Shri Rupa Goswami. That's the mood of Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. Therefore, if question been asked to Das Goswami, you can do your bhajan anywhere else. But Das Goswami said, no, I only want to be at Giriraj Govardhan. Nirupadi karunena si sachidandanena toi kapati shatopi tat priyatmatasihi iti khalu mama yogya yogyatam tamangrinam nij nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. I always want to reside at Giriraj Govardhan because, Maharaj, how much time I have?
You have 8 minutes.
8 minutes? Because also from the Siddhanta of Shri Rupa Goswami and then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And what is that? Can we get this highest mood of that bhakti from Krishna? Gurudev describes, no. Because Sambandhanuga and Kamanuga, Dasya Sakhya Vasalya in Sambandhanuga, and those one Madhuras, they're in Kamanuga. But in Kamanuga also there are 2 divisions, Sambhog Ichamai and Tattva Bhav Ichamai. Shri Gurudev describing Lalita Vishakha, they are in Sambhog Ichamai dimension. And the Manjaris, Shri Rupa Manjari, Das, Shri Rati Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, all these Manjaris, they are Tattva Bhav Ichamai. So unless we get Tadatme with Tattva Bhav Ichamai, we can't embrace that mood what Shri Mahaprabhu wants to give, came to give to us. We can't. So how to get that Tattva Bhav Ichamai? So Gurudev described Shri Lalita and Shri Vishakha, even though they are the gopis, they are sakhis of Radharani, but they also have a tinge or inclination towards Tattva Bhavichamayi. And therefore they can also give us that mood. Otherwise, impossible to reach to that high domain of Radha Dasyam. It's impossible. Not just by approaching Krishna, but approaching Tattva Bhavichamayi dimension. That dimension is so important and very prominent. The following the footsteps of the Manjaris. Because, why? Shri Kaviraj Goswami describes in Govali Lamrit, Jato la saseka shadgun adhikam shanti tamna chitram. The Manjaris, they drive not out of their own pleasure, but Radharani makes them feel 100 times more pleasure than herself. It gets reflected on them because of Tadatme situation, because they are Tadatme, oneness with Radharani. This is the mood of Tattva Bhavichamayi. So if one not practice Raganuga Bhakti, and that is also under the guidance of Tattva Bhavichamayi, one can't attain that aim and object of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Radha Dasyam. And Gurudev said, I'm speaking this. And people call me, I'm Sahajya. But actually, yes, transcendental Sahajya. Because what is Sahajya means? Ishte swarski ragam paramush tad bhavet. Tanmaya bhavet bhakti sa ragatmika uchyate. Those who have Sahaj Bhav, spontaneous love for Krishna, those ragatmik jans, the inhabitants of Braj, they are ragatmik. But following the footsteps, those ragatmik bhaktas are called raganugas. Ragatmika anusmritya sacha raganuga uchyate. And what Gurudev preached? Raganuga Bhakti. So Giriraj Govardhan can give us that. Raganuga Bhakti, Giriraj Govardhan can give us Tattva Bhav Ichhamayi. How come? Because Tadatme with Radharani's mood. Because Radharani announced this. Haridas Varje. Shri Radharani announced this. And that's why, hence proved, if we want to get this, we have to approach Shri Giriraj Govardhan. There is no other way out. There is no other way out. There is no other way out. That's the high and prominent mood of our Srila Gurudev, and that's his legacy. I humbly pray at the divine lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and all his parikars to please bless me. And we pray to Gurudev to bless all of us. We can follow this, practice this, and we can preach this. Because on the name of bhajan, we don't have to be lazy. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, if you're only thinking you're doing bhajan, what bhajan? Chanting 64 rounds. That's all. Is that the bhajan about? And what are you thinking when you're chanting 64 rounds? That's the more important. Your intent to do your activities are more important. Everything about his spiritual world is intent. Everything. So what is the intent of your bhajan? That's not our style to do Nirjan bhajan. Practice and preaching. And for that we need hard work. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Gurudev, in their advanced age, what they did? Sacrifice. There's another big topic, I don't have much time on this. Some other time. Gaur Premanande. Srila Gurudev Ki. Vancha Kalpurusha Kripa Sindhu Patitha Nam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namano. Good time?
One question.
Yes, 2 minutes.
2 minutes left.
One question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, thank you, Maharaj, and please forgive me if I ever made any problem in the beginning.
Take the mic.
The mood you're setting is
Hold
absolutely
on.
perfect. We heard from Gurudev. I personally have had one small question. Ever since I met Gurudev and I heard some of this Katha and read his books, this is a personal small question. And I preach this, and if I'm wrong, I want you to chastise me severely. And that goes for all of the sannyasis and all of my seniors here. Is there anyone at all in Braj either Boma Vrindavan or Golokan Vrindavan who is not serving Radharani?
In Bhaum Vrindavan and Prakat Vrindavan, who
Is there any one who lives there
is not serving
is
Radharani?
not serving Radharani?
Even a snake is serving Radharani.
So, if that is the correct answer,
Even the
is
birds
that-
are serving Radharani.
is that snake Radhadasan? In other words, although you very clearly explained,
Coming to your answer, coming to your question.
yes,
The snake cannot be Radha Dasyam
why?
because the snake is not Tadatmevi and not falling Tatta Bhavichamai. But Shrutis, Devis, they prayed for. Ayam apite hant presha lubda chitta sarvhoksam ubhokta kameva radhikeva. Bhagavatam Shrutis, they say we want to serve Krishna but under guidance of the Braj Gopis. So that mood, that prayer has to be there. Even though snakes and birds and all, they are making Radha Krishna unite together.
Yes,
The meeting is there,
yes,
but they are not tadatme with Radha. The important point is tadatme,
yes.
and that's what Srila Gurudev always emphasized on. Tatta bhav ichamai. Shri Vishnu Chakur Thakur giving the detailed explanation of this. It is so important. So that Manjari bhav is tatta bhav ichamai. Mahaprabhu came to give this mood specifically. Chari bhav diya nachaibu tribhuvan. Mahaprabhu said, I came and make everyone dance by giving all Braj bhav. But what his inner mood is giving that tatta bhav ichamai rati. And that's the point where Radharani is seeing Giraj Govardhan and seeing that how we are serving with all of our limbs, Giraj Govardhan also serving with all their limbs, giving a platform for Krishna. Whereas Dhruv, Prahlad and Ambarish, they are not giving their bodies. Yudhishthir Maharaj and Uddhav is not giving their body to serve Krishna. So that's why Giraj Govardhan is tadatme with the moods of Radharani. I think I'm okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Srila Gurudev ki Gaur Premanand.
Rasika Devi Dasi is going to do bhajan now, and then we have Sripad Bhaktivedanta Ashram are speaking. We got Sripad Bhakti.